Y'all just saw me cutting up and washing my vegetables. I thoroughly washed my hands before doing so. Y'all, don't be in the kitchen with nasty hands, because that's just nasty. Hey everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. You guys, today I'm in the process of fixing dinner, and I'm going to make cabbage. So I'm doing this video first, and then I have to do some cornbread, okay? So that video will be coming up next. But as it pertains to the cabbage, I think I had fixed dinner. It's been some time ago, and I had fixed cabbage and showed the dinner, and someone asked about how do you make your cabbage. Also, my sister-in-law called me a couple of weeks ago saying, sis, do you have a video on mom's cabbage? And I did not. So, sis, this is for you. Now, my mom kept her cabbage very, very simple, and it's 5 of us in all, you guys, and we are very particular eaters, so that's why I definitely need to help my sister-in-law, because honey, she's married to the pickiest one of the bunch. So my brother Ron, he's very particular, so I'm gonna need you to get this cabbage right, sis, okay? So I'm getting ready to help you. So as you saw, I was washing my cabbage. I used like a little small head of cabbage. I didn't use a very large one. So we're using a head of cabbage, and you saw how I took out that core, okay? So for those of you that really don't know how to cook, and you guys have to keep that in mind, everybody doesn't know how to cook, so I have to explain it so they'll understand it, okay? So I cut out that core because it's really hard. Of course, you're not going to eat it, so you don't need to cook it. And then the area that's around the core, these areas can be hard as well. So I don't cook this either. I just discard that. Then I cut up half a bell pepper. And then I cut up an entire onion. So it was at least about a medium to large size onion. Okay? Now, I usually don't measure, so I'm trying to come up with measurements to help you guys. Now, I'm going to start with, I'm going to get back to the measurements, but I need this water to start getting hot because I'm going to do some broth. Okay, so this is just a half cup of water, and I'm going to put it on, like I said, because I needed to go on and start getting hot. And to this, I love my Better Than Bouillon. This is a roasted garlic base. My mom used garlic in her cabbage, but in lieu of that, I'm going to use this roasted garlic base. And this is probably at least about a teaspoonful. Okay? So one thing about cabbage is very watery. So you really don't need a lot of water, and we like our cabbage with a little bit of crispiness to it. Crispiness. What am I trying to say? We don't like soggy cabbage. We don't like soggy cabbage, and we don't like soupy cabbage. That's not how our mom made it, you guys. And if by chance you like a soggy or a soupy cabbage, it's perfectly fine. To each his own. That's what I love about cooking, honey. Do what works for you, whatever you like, okay? But sis, we didn't grow up on soggy, soupy cabbage, so I'm gonna need you to not make it soggy nor soupy for my brother, okay? All right, so we're gonna let that start getting heated up. Again, it was just a half a cup of water. Cabbage is watery, and I'm pointing over here because I still have my cabbage in the sink. Cabbage is watery, so you really don't need a lot. And again, I'm just doing this to try to give you measurements. So my mom used, this is salt and pepper, my pretty little container. She used salt, pepper. She used garlic powder, in which I'm using the broth. And she used some onion powder, okay? Then she used a little bit of sugar. And this is the sugar bowl we grew up with. Remember this, Ron? That's our sugar bowl that we grew up with as children. Then she used a little bit of crushed pepper. And of course, honey, look at that. What's that in the bottom of that? Y'all, that's some bacon grease. Just a little bit of bacon grease. That's how she did it, okay? All right. So while this water is heating up, I'm going to bring you guys down here in just a second, but we're just getting this Better Than Bouillon mixed around. And something else I do sometimes, I'm not going to do it now because I'm fixing this cabbage like my mama fixed cabbage. Sometimes I will add this ham flavored seasoning, this Goya. This is what the pack looks like. So sometimes I'll put that in. But like I say, that's not how my mama did it, so that's not what we're doing today. Okay, we've got this water going. Let me grab my cabbage. So you see how the cabbage is still dripping a little bit. And we're going to put all of this in here. The water got really hot, so I went on and turned it down some, okay? And yes, we're going to put all of this in here. Cabbage is a lot like collards in the way that it cooks. It's going to cook down, okay? And we're mainly concerned about steaming. But I promise you, it's going to cook down. So please don't tell me I need a larger pan, because I do not. All right? And then we have our onions that we're adding. Onions. Okay, and now we're going to add, let's see, this is the pepper. We're adding just a little bit of regular pepper. Just a little bit of salt, because we do have that better than bouillon, so it's a little salty. Well, it's not a little, it is salty. Our onion powder. A little bit of our crushed red pepper, not a lot because we don't like it really hot, just a little bit. Don't like it spicy. And then we have our bacon grease, and I'm going to add maybe a couple of tablespoons of bacon grease, okay? And that's it, you guys. So right now my burner is set on about medium. It's on about 5. We're going to put that like that. And so right now we're going to let it cook just for about 10 minutes right now, okay? And then we'll come back and check it. Oh no, wait a minute. I need to add my sugar. I almost forgot to add my sugar. Just a little bit of sugar. That's it. Okay. You see how that's already cooking down? I know y'all like, honey, would you please get a bigger frying pan? I will not. Okay, we'll check it in about 10 minutes or so. Alright, it's been 10 minutes. And the top has been on the entire time. Again, my burner is set on 5. I have an electric stove, so it's set on the number 5. And this is what we're looking like. Keeping that lid on helps to just kind of steam your cabbage. That's how come I don't need it covered in water. Okay. Y'all see how good that's looking? So now we're going to cover it, and I'm going to set my timer again. Yes, you guys, I told y'all, honey, I'd be using my timer. You're going to set it for about another 5 minutes, okay? Just kind of keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't get overcooked and end up soggy. Alright, I checked it at 5 minutes, and that still wasn't enough time, so it's been 10 minutes later. So right now we've been cooking a total of 20 minutes. And it's at a point now that it's pretty much to our desired doneness. Because keep in mind, once I turn it off, it's still going to cook a little bit more. Alright? And you see how the water has kind of definitely cooked down a little bit. But you needed just a little in there so it would not burn. So now you just taste it. And actually, let me get a spoon, because I want to also taste and see what the broth is tasting like, and then see exactly what else I may want to add. Okay, I need just a little bit more salt. Again, with the salt, you just start slow. Don't add too much in the beginning, because once you get it in there, you can't get it out, okay? I'm turning off my burner. Again, my burner stayed on the number 5 the entire time once we started cooking. And I think we're done. So I think that's pretty simple. If you are really trying to learn how to cook, just be careful. Don't try to do too much. Sometimes I think we make cooking a lot more complicated and difficult than it really is when we start trying to do too much and add too much, and just sometimes just don't do the most. I mean, that's kind of like an oxymoron coming from me and everything I like to do with my pound cakes, but when you're cooking certain things, just do not do the most. Okay, so I'm taking it off the heat. I'm going to cover it back up. But you guys, that's how our mom made her cabbage. And you see how it cooked down in that frying pan? That's why I said I was not going to get a larger pan. All right, you got it, sis? Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Next, we're doing some cornbread, so don't go anywhere, okay? Thank you so much. We already look forward to you joining us again next time. Bye. Don't forget to shake something, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, shake something, shake something, shake something. Okay, you guys will see dude number 1 in the next video. Bye.